Hi everyone, I'm Kent Louie, science teacher and talking head, talking about science education and broadcasting from beautiful Vancouver, Canada. This is episode 100. Today, I want to talk about the pressure of getting through all the topics in an academic year and how standards-based grading can help alleviate some of that pressure. Quick shout out to Tanya at Burn Creek Secondary and Justin at Burnby Mountain Secondary for the discussion that led to this episode. You know, most of the ideas that make it to my videos come from discussions with colleagues like Tanya and Justin. Before I continue though, handouts for this episode are available at realsciencechallenge.com/EP100, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Imagine you have 100 hours to produce a mixtape. Okay, you can use the 100 hours to produce 5 amazing tracks in the hip-hop genre. And since you produce only 5 tracks, you're able to deep dive into different sounds, spend time experimenting with new sounds, and mix complicated tempo changes together. And the result is that every single one of these tracks is innovative and tight. I mean, check it out. You got Straight Outta Carbon, Can't Touch That, STP, Nothing But an E Thing. These are going to be #1 on the Billboard charts, okay? Or you can use the same 100 hours to produce 11 tracks across a variety of genres like funk and Latin disco, folk, metal. Since you can only spend about half the amount of time per track compared to the other mixtape, you don't really have time to deep dive and experiment with sounds. The result is that each one of these tracks is pretty average, but passable. I mean, they actually sound like the genre, but nothing is quite innovative. So which would you choose? Track 1 or track 2? Personally, I choose track 1, the hip-hop one. So, when it comes to our science curriculum, do we want students to have a deep understanding of something or just passable knowledge? Ideally, we'd like a deep understanding, which requires time. And time, unfortunately, isn't something we always have in the classroom. So, is it okay to cut out topics out of the curriculum? This was the conversation I had with Tanya and Justin the other day. And personally, I think it's okay not to get to every topic in the curriculum. But that means that what I do cover needs to be very, very deep and sophisticated, which is what I'm aiming for. And if you're using standards-based grading, where students are assessed on skills, like science skills like, I don't know, asking questions or developing models, or maybe planning and carrying out investigations, analyzing, interpreting data. These skills, you'll use different parts of each topic, different parts of physics, chemistry, biology, earth science, to teach and assess those skills. And if you're able to assess all those skills effectively and comprehensively using, let's say, only chemistry, physics, and bio, then there's not a huge need then to add more topics at the end and more tests to assess the same skills, especially if you've done a good job assessing them already. You have a good understanding as to how the students are performing for each skill. So going forward, what this means is that when you start your year, start thinking about the topics and more importantly, what you want to do in each unit to bring out each standard. And one way I do this is I look back at last year's assessments to see what was done. So for example, I took my chemistry quizzes for my grade 9 students and mapped it out on a grid like this. The different standards are on top, and I have, of course, the quizzes on the side. And I've mapped out quiz 1, it assesses these 2 skills. Quiz 2, this topic assesses these 3 skills. Notice my chemistry unit has no assessments for question and predict. So what this means is that I need to find a way in my future units, like biology or physics or earth science, to assess this skill effectively and comprehensively. Or what this means is that I may have to rejig some of my assessments to account for this skill. And this depends on, well, my assessments, how much time I may have. This is where standards-based grading can actually save a bit of time because we're not scrambling to get more tests, more topics crammed in to assess the same skills, especially since, like I said before, you may already have a lot of quizzes, a lot of assessments for those skills already. So do we need any more? Now, there are, of course, courses where you need to finish every topic, like those courses with like a big state exam at the end of the year or an AP exam. Of course, those teach to the end and do a good job. But for those that don't have those high stakes exams, there really doesn't need to be a lot of pressure to finish everything. That's it for this episode. Please smash the like or subscribe button or leave a comment below, and handouts once again are at realsciencechallenge.com/EP100. Thanks for watching, and let's talk science education again soon.